Hey guys, welcome back to the Ten Hill Studio podcast. And today I'm with a very, very special guest, a young legend in the making. We have Raghu,
What's
also
up?
known
What's up?
as RvD.
Name is Raghavendra, and my IP's name is RvD. So I just took three initials from the name RvD. We
Mhm.
added it up, and I was actually into poetry before I got into
Nice.
rapping, music, and everything. So used to go to open mics and just you can say like that was my figure of expression or like a comedian where I used to just take out all that stress in the day
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever I'm feeling, right? And then once the lockdown happened, just freestyling on beats became my go-to space. And that's it, bro. So whenever in one of the shows, right? So in all of these, you can say the music aspect, I always say it in all my shows, or I try to make it a point that start from the washroom, now we here. So,
I think that's a pretty good segue as to kind of go a little bit more behind your music, right?
yeah,
So, how would you describe your style of music? And what are some of your inspirations behind your creation?
it's more of like an indie rap. So, my style of music is I take orthodox components, and in languages like Urdu,
Hmm.
and we sort of blend it with the current generational rap or the form of communication. So it's like indie rap, or you can now be even exploring commercial as of now, but it's not like the extreme commercial, but it's even with a blend of unconventional sounds and then languages, and we just sort of blended them. So, and plus the inspiration is just like our culture, आसपास जो हमारे चीजें होती है, just real life experiences.
Right.
If you look at big, like really big artists like Divine, or you can
Hmm.
say currently King is one of the most upcoming rappers in the scene right now,
Hmm.
right? So Divine or Badshah as well,
Hmm.
these guys rep their culture from their city. Like
Hmm.
Divine is talking about Bombay rap and like level, like his way of communication, like
Right.
communication. Badshah is rapping in his own manner.
Right.
So, Cal maybe there are some really very talented rappers, and the whole vision is to rep the city. And because I've noticed in the community now, Delhi community, Bombay rap community, they are really tight.
Right.
They're really tight. And it's like all that energy, जब सब all those जब सब पागल एक रूम में हो ना, वो energy amplify हो जाती है पूरी
Hmm.
proper. So that's exactly what the vision is to create, or somewhat get close to, and or actually just create in Cal. Like
Right.
there's unity in the community, and everyone is vouching for everyone,
Hmm.
and there's no tension. Sabko, like there's so much of space to grow.
Yeah, yeah. I feel the same thing. In fact, like in my last episode, there was a brand owner and we were discussing the same thing, which is like, you know how important it is for people that are doing similar kinds of things in different fields, it might be,
Yeah,
but to come together and kind of, talk about the culture, talk about where it's heading, and also help grow it in
yeah,
whatever way that we can.
true.
So, obviously, there were two recent singles that have blown up like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Riha and Itihas.
Uh,
And so, yeah, tell us how you feel about the response to these singles, and like, I mean, I bump Riha a lot, so yeah.
so and Reha's inspiration was basically at that time I realized, fuck yeah, I'm ready. And Reha means release in Urdu. So I wrote that in Tolly Club. Monday ka din tha. And I was walking around in the golf course, right? Because I love going to Tolly Club. A lot of my
Hmm.
art is actually made in Tolly Club. Because I'm just around nature and stuff.
Hmm.
So, and बारिश हो गई उस टाइम.
Hmm.
So मैं अटक गया एक शामियाना के अंदर.
Hmm.
So, and luckily I had my speaker with me. So बारिश, bro, it went on for at least 50 minutes. I don't know, 45, 50 minutes तो almost एक घंटा तो चला वो बारिश. So
Hmm.
उसमें I wrote, so Reha was actually written in 45 minutes.
Right.
And but that's the thing. जब आप when everything is just so aligned,
Yeah.
time is just like a
Like it's
cheers, bro.
Yeah, it's good to see. obviously, like, I've seen your journey up close,
Yeah.
and I've seen your change in mindset from initially releasing stuff as passion projects and then becoming more and more strategic, as well as realizing that this is something that you want to do lifelong
Yeah.
and that you have a very specific roadmap. That to me was very striking because it's very rarely, and I meet a lot of new people trying to start a lot of things,
Yeah.
like lot of new brand owners, a lot of new artists, etc. But I've never seen anyone so clear in their vision, and I really respect that about you.
Big love, bro. Big love. But I would even give I would not take that whole credit because I even would want to give credit to my friends. Like just me and Shagnik, we really sat down and he gave the vision of, you know what, an artist is a brand. So the whole process is आप brand बनो, automatically आपके गाने, आपका merchandise, आपके shows सब बिकेंगे. And that's one thing जो everyone I feel, a lot of us, because we are so ambitious in the start now. We start doing gigs left, right, center, left, right, center, left, right, center, जो exclusivity को पूरा तोड़ देता है.
Yeah.
So if I'm at a, say about if my value is 10 rupees, right, that will diminish to 5 rupees because I am available 3 times a week, 4 times a
Right.
week to be out and about. Definitely, it's a hard thing to do, like it's a very tough thing to do. So,
Yeah, but I agree with you. I feel like as long as sometimes and strategically you say no to things,
yeah, they do wonders.
it actually helps your brand a lot more because at least then people know that you're not just like available all the time because
Hmm.
even that's not a great thing, I
I
feel
mean,
like.
till a point, it's definitely, a person should keep at it. But
Mhm.
like I said, time के साथ evolve करते जाते हैं, right?
Yeah,
So वो vision widen होना is a very important thing. Because I
right,
bet every artist just dreams of themselves to be on stage,
right,
right?
right.
And just keep it going, fill a
Yeah,
stadium.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So as time went by, that's how all the songs, unke purpose, the things I'm talking about became more intensified.
Mhm.
Like in Itihas, I'm talking about my full, like you can say, a recap of the whole musical journey and before that. So that's the thing. Like I think even the change in perception, how I'm looking at things, that point of view, and learning from them rather than repenting over them,
Right.
and then just it's like there's a quote: "Agar if you change the way you look at something, you change that something."
Mm.
So just look at a struggle from a different point of view. That is automatically looks like hustle. अरे ये तो hustle है
Right.
बस bro. इसको तो एक महीने में हम लोग we can just slide it off and then just like turn it around and make some bags of it. So
I mean, a lot of people do things like that. It's true.
exactly, So I think over time, SI, and plus I'm meeting so many people, right? Like my work is making me meet so many people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I made some great friends, like in this scene, like great friends, and people who are so focused, and उनके साथ जब रहते हैं ना, so it's like you learn from them, and that's like even somewhere down the line they learn things from you,
Right.
and I mean सीखना ही जरूरी चीज नहीं
Yeah,
है. You're
bro.
supposed to have a good time and just like amplify that growth.
Of
So
course. Like, I
it's
feel like when you're around like the right people,
yeah,
um, and you're also learning from them and they're learning from you, and as long as it's collaborative,
yeah,
you know,
true. Like that's bro, that's the vision.
because
Like
you should also be able to learn from the people around you.
facts.
Like, you can't be always the smartest person in your group
Oh
because then you're like literally inhibiting your growth almost.
yeah, like I think being I am, to be honest, I don't speak much. If like I mean, I think considering yourself the smartest one in the room is definitely like a
It's a barrier that you
it's
put
a
upon
barrier you
yourself.
put to yourself. But what you just said is like actually very true. Like
Mm.
being the smartest one in the room just gives you instant gratification, but वहाँ पे growth कौन है?
Yeah, because also then you're kind of not kind of seeing the perspective of the other people. Because once you've kind of decided that, okay, I know more than everyone else in this room, then it's impossible for you to learn anything from anyone in the room,
True.
right?
That's true.
And I truly believe that everyone has something to offer.
Yeah.
Like, and the most important conversations I feel like I've had have actually been like mostly like taxi drivers and stuff.
Wow.
Because um, they are always like meeting people, one, they're always around different areas.
Yeah.
So they're interacting with all kinds of people at all levels of society, and they have a very deep understanding of how people are and what they're doing.
Hmm.
So having conversations with them, I find really fascinating. So,
I mean,
things like that, if you can expose
inspiration is
yourself or be inspired by any kind of situation, I
true.
think it's important to keep, chasing new ideas, not only for like self improvement, but also like as sources of inspiration to keep doing what you're doing, and also just, just fuel you to be like more happy and productive in life in general, I feel like.
True. I think as we keep, you know, doing what we love and keep growing in it, the more we realize that being able to give is the goal.
Right.
Like, even if it's your time or if it's something monetary or if it's affection, love, anything, it's just that feeling of being able to give,
Right.
it's priceless. And I think that's the driving force also. That's
Yeah,
been
dude.
like, in Karobari Kalakari, there was this line ki, Karobari Kalakari, जेबे भारी दिल खाली सर पे ली है बिलो जिम्मेदारी के माँ को दिलानी वो सारी, right?
Hmm.
So me and my mom, we always used to discuss this Kashmiri silk, like it's her favorite,
Yeah.
right? And when actually, you will not believe this, bro. So when I think it was somewhere about 3 months ago or 4 months ago, when I just came back from Bombay. So we actually got her that, like,
Nice,
sari, and I
nice.
was playing. So
Okay,
it was
then.
such a fun moment, right?
Yeah.
Because I had like the speaker and I
Yeah.
was playing Karobar Kari, and I was just like, entering over. She's like, dude, you're fucking mad. So
No, it's a moment for you,
yeah,
bro.
dude, like you like
It's like manifesting, essentially.
exactly, right? Like, and
Dope, dude. Dope.
that's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, like talking a little bit about, like we have delved a little bit in your creative process and stuff.
Hmm.
But like, what is a typical like day look like in terms of writing or
Okay.
stuff like that?
So there are so I mainly write at night.
Okay.
क्योंकि दिन में ना I'm doing so you can say the more commercial part of the work,
Right.
and definitely there is studio time which we have always programmed during the day at times as well, even at night. So for me, my process, now every artist has a different process, right? So मैं तो beat लेता हूँ, I freestyle on it for a couple of days or say about hours या जैसा भी, once I get my flow.
So how do you choose the beat? Like,
I
is there?
search for them, or
Okay.
there are so many beats which we compose as well and
Right.
we make them as well, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we do. So every beat has a different vibe. Kabhi Afro, kabhi hip hop, kabhi indie, kabhi deep tech, wherein you blend that with hip hop and stuff, right? So apne banate, and then I freestyle on it to get the flow. So when I'm freestyling also on it, मैं एक subject ढूंढ लेता हूँ.
Okay.
And I move towards in that direction, so that my thoughts are not
Yeah.
all over the place. And
So what about like so when you're this is just a deeper question.
yeah, for sure.
So when you're freestyling,
Yeah.
is it mostly because you're trying to find the melody for how you want it to sound, and then later on is when you kind of add more specific lyrics on top of the melody, kind of?
So somewhat both, you can
Okay.
say, because it's not like everything is planned. We are like
Right.
creating it from scratch.
Right.
So when I'm actually freestyling, for me, my primary goal is to get the flow,
Right.
because that's the first layering for me. Second layering is when I sit down to write.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like आप अगर say about if I take any beat, right? मैं उस पे freestyle करके करके subject ढूंढ लिया, ऑटोमेटिकली कुछ लाइंस आ जाते हैं वहां से, जो आप कोरस या कुछ भी ना आप सोच लेते हो. And then once I sit down to write, the worst part is my main you can say where my thought and energy goes in. And then once I get done with the writing, I practice a little because practice तो होते जाती है, right? As soon
Yeah.
as you're just, and then we hit it off in the studio. I call Rick. I'm like, bro, let's do it. He's like, come through, and yeah. So you know, this process is also कभी कभी कुछ गानों को 2 हफ्ते लग जाते हैं. कभी bro, there are like almost, I would say, not kidding, 25 to 30 tracks which are just in the,
Just lying in the
like,
vault.
just yeah, in the vault, you can say. And but that's the thing, you have urge to keep making more, keep
Yeah.
making more, keep making more. So you know, because I think us as humans now, we can never make, a person who starts making songs can never stop making songs,
Right.
because we can never stop venting. Yeah, dude, life में इतनी दिक्कतें हैं.
Fair, fair. So, obviously, like you've been gaining quite a lot of popularity and building your fan base for a while now. What are some of the challenges that you face specifically in India or Calcutta when doing so?
So, Calcutta, I feel community, that one, I don't know why, वो एक हल्का सा barrier लगता है मुझे कभी कभी. Though there's so much of love and respect amongst the artists and stuff as well,
Right.
like immense love and respect. Like,
Mm,
it's just that, you know, everyone just so locked in into their specific journey, their vision and her cheese, right? So I feel अगर हम लोग सब कुछ समय निकाल कर ना, if you just like sit down, create something, कुछ ना कुछ करे,
mm,
can wonders can be created. And I even realize, you know, जहाँ जब आप शुरू करते हो, so there's a lot of tension amongst the artists जब आप शुरू करते हो initially,
mm.
but as you keep growing up the ladder now, you realize there's only space for love and growth, और कुछ है ही नहीं. And even in Cal क्या है, it's more of the, you can say, Tollywood industry, which is very big here, right?
Right.
So when it comes to music, you'll realize like there are Bengali artists who are making a killing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
some serious money in that stuff, because Tollywood is a big industry, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas for me, my sector is somewhat very commercial, which I have found my niche after Reha.
Yeah.
So it's even like, you know, the barriers are to be consistent, and consistency definitely takes a toll on your body, mind, and
Right.
everything, because you're just at it, just at it, just at it, because disappointments are inevitable in this journey.
Yeah.
You never know where you get disappointed and where, like, how, and even sometimes it's people, sometimes it's the events companies, or sometimes it's just things don't get
Yeah,
aligned
yeah, yeah.
according to you. But we shouldn't get let that get, you know, to
No,
our head,
yeah.
but it does get to our head at
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
But then again, taking out time for ourselves in this whole journey, because consistently being at it will create such a block at times, where in that block, if you don't have other skills to work on, you get so frustrated, so held back.
Mhm.
You go like, okay, ab kya kare, ab kya kare, right? But definitely there is the commercial part of it, like in terms of jo branding, marketing, और वो
Oh.
सब चीज़ team के साथ बैठना. But you know, finding that balance, I feel
Mm.
when you find that balance, you crack that key, so then automatically you become a very attractive aura,
Mhm.
from a third person point of view. And that's what, like, being a public figure is like.
Right.
The public is attracted to that image, or
Mhm.
like, you know, that figure which you are,
Mhm.
and they want to, like, you know more, they
Right.
create that. But
Right.
it's more of a, not a magnet, but like a light,
Sure.
which you're just like, you know,
Sure.
the bigger you, the, like, you know, piece by piece, the more you are putting yourself out there, the bigger that light gets.
Right.
And as that light is
That's
getting
cool.
bigger, so
I
that,
like that analogy.
and you know, your, it's like your music can show, say, about ways to people, right? So as that light gets bigger, लोगों को दिखेगा,
Mhm.
not the light, but उनके आसपास क्या है,
Mhm.
those realizations they strike. Because I have realized the big, like, I think few of the most finest things in my life via music.
Mhm.
Like, जब मैं लोगों से बात करके जो चीज़ समझ नहीं पाया, मैं तो गाने सुन के कर लिया वो.
Mm.
So it's like, you know, these are the small things which I think where human development, like human character development, 100% baby, and consistency, even that slight unity wali
Yeah.
cheez, and you know, so bits and pieces of here and there are obstacles everywhere.
Mm.
It is just like, you know, how we deal with them piece by piece,
Right.
piece by piece.
Agreed. So recently you signed to a music label in Bombay.
Yeah.
How was that process? And tell us a little bit more about this label and I guess your deal with the label.
So I'm exclusively signed to Just Music. So it's a label founded by Jackie Bagnani, and it's a Bollywood record label. But they are also coming up with a lot of new, like new age music, and it's even so the process of getting into a label or getting signed by one is also very interesting because we
Mm-hmm.
were working independently, right? How me and
Yeah, yeah,
Impacto were moving,
yeah.
and so they definitely do a lot of background check on you. They check your music, your style of music, how consistent you've been, and every single thing. Then you get contacted, and so we flew down to Bombay. We met. We had a very nice call with them.
Mm-hmm.
Their office is in Juhu, and once the meeting got done, we got to the paperwork, and that's when I realized, like, paperwork is just so essential. Like since then, not even since then, like since before that as well, we were just
Right.
relying on paperwork, and everything should be on paper. I feel because it's
Mm-hmm.
just so important.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of legal back and forth happens where the legal team sits and they come to a conclusion, right? To a common ground. And once that happens, we just straight up get to the process. So they take care of, like, a label will construct you, build
Mm-hmm.
you, and launch you.
Okay.
So it's more like, they sort of, it's like a key to everything. And plus, you can say, so our label is also like the distribution process is authorized by Warner Music India.
Okay.
So a lot of the music, all of the music is actually from of mine, like just goes to them, and then they decide the dates and
Right.
everything, and we come to a proper plan, and then we execute it.
Mm-hmm.
So there is something in the pipeline. We're gonna come out with a track in Feb end, Gara Ban Chuka Hai.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I was talking about POVs,
Right.
so this track's name is Nazaria.
Nice.
So kind of excited. And last project we shot in Goa. It was a 3-day shoot, and
Nice.
so it was like it's a lot of fun. Like it's
I'm
great
sure,
fun,
bro.
and there's so much space for growth. Plus, is a completely new journey for me. So plus it's a long one from now as well.
Right. So how involved is the music label in kind of your day to day, or is that not such a day to day kind of
It's
thing?
not such a day to day kind of a thing
Okay.
because they are a label is a vast entity,
Okay.
and they have several components
Right.
to it, right? So a label will always have dates planned
Okay.
for a set of releases, which when they because they have
Releases.
several releases lined up, right?
And do you have to meet them like
Oh yeah, yeah,
regularly? Like,
yeah, yeah. It's like always. Bombay has become very frequent because there's so many other things we get programmed as well. Like it's just not a music video.
right.
Even there are even shows, there are even campaigns, there are even collaborations which we try to like integrate and stuff. And every so there's it's like a lot of things you can say. And whenever any component or you can say anything is needed, we meet, we speak, get it executed, and then come back. So I do have plans to shift over there, but it's
Okay.
gonna take some time because boon boon se
Abandoning
banta hai sagar.
abandoning Calcutta.
No, man, no. More like taking calc over there and like
Oh, nice,
wrapping
nice.
it.
So, you mentioned that you have a few fun projects coming up.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about any collaborations or features that you might have, or
So collaborations would be tough to speak about right now because
no,
'cause,
legally?
yeah, I would get into legal trouble.
Yeah.
But there no, but jokes apart, there's some really fun collaborations coming out this year, inevitably. And
Can you give us some dates?
uh, to be honest, I think April we
April.
might just give the first, we might just drop the first bomb.
Nice,
And
nice.
so as
What
of now,
about
I'm just concentrating on my next single. But
single? Okay, what
yeah,
about is there an album coming out soon?
so this year album, I don't think so. मैं गिराऊंगा. I want to take some more time. I think there's some really amazing tracks which I've, which we've been working on. We've actually built, and I think लोगों को बहुत पसंद आएगा वो.
Okay.
It's just right now I want to really concentrate on my singles with the
Yeah,
label.
dude. It actually makes more sense in
Yeah,
today's day and age.
and when it's meant to be, when I feel it's the right time, I'll just drop it. So I'm actually even excited for Reha this year because we
Right.
actually we've sold Reha, so it's gonna be doing a nice debut
Nice.
in this year. So I want to keep it to that, and
Nice.
let's see how that goes.
That's cool, man. So do you have any plans to like go on tour, or do you have a lot of gigs coming up?
So February looks like a lot of fun. We are mostly bagging in two festivals
Okay.
and one really nice event which is happening in Cal mostly. Not sure about that, but I think that's the manager. They just fill us in and they give us the dates and they
Right.
tell us, "Are you available?"
Yeah,
Let's see. Do you want to do it? I'm like,
yeah.
sign me up.
Right.
And
This
yeah,
is
so this is even March looks like a lot of fun. Holi is going to be in Bombay this year, and if things really get aligned, we might be even doing going out of the country for a show in XYZ. You can
nice.
say, but I want to keep that as a surprise.
Right. Nice. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Um, so like in general now, like I don't know if this is a big thing, it's just a personal question about the music space.
Yeah.
But so like you started off independent, right?
Yeah.
And obviously you were utilizing different streaming services like Spotify and
Yeah.
stuff. But now that you're signed to a label, does that change a lot of the things, or like the distribution aspect to it? Is it still Spotify? Is it via the music label?
So I'll tell you, when independent artists they start making music, right? Um, there are several platforms where you upload your music. They are the portal via
Right.
which, in all these streaming platforms, the music goes. I was using DistroKid personally,
Okay.
and but for us, Warner has their own portal.
Right.
So Warner is the one which is distributing it, and even not to just these streaming platforms, to even VH1, MTV,
Mm-hmm.
9XM,
Mm-hmm.
Zing. So
I mean,
they have their set of tools.
that thing is gonna be crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they do the distribution part, and it's just like a lot of fun.
So are you still actively like? I remember when I met you a few months ago at the store, you were showing me how you can see the number of people that were
Oh yeah.
listening to your song at any given
Yeah, I
moment on
think
Spotify. Is that like? Do you still access
um
Spotify stuff like that? Like, does that
that's
still excite you?
it definitely it doesn't excite me,
Okay.
but it definitely motivates me a lot
Mm.
because I always want to add another zero to that,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And because once you actually instill that thought, तो आपको होता है, dude, fuck, कुछ और करना पड़ेगा यार. Like, gotta keep it going, gotta keep it going, gotta keep it going. So,
Right.
I do keep. I think every artist just checks it. That पहले मैं बहुत ज़्यादा check करता था, and
Yeah.
now I'm just like, I'm actually gonna. I made it a point this year. I'm gonna check it only and only. Fuck it, I'm not gonna follow man. मैं तो check कर ही लेता हूँ यार.
You're gonna check it,
एक
bro.
बार तो check कर लेता हूँ. क्या like
क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा भाई.
yeah, dude. But yeah, it's actually like a reflex. रात को
Yeah,
एक बार
yeah.
check कर ही लेते हैं. How's it
How's it
going, man?
going?
How's
Yeah.
it going, man?
But in general, like, what are your thoughts about these kind of streaming services? Obviously, Spotify is not the only big one in
Yeah.
India, right? Like, I'm pretty sure Ghana is another big one.
See, I think Spotify, Apple, it
Mm-hmm.
is just that the target market, right?
Mm-hmm.
My target market, my set niche of crowd, like my and apparently, like, because the target, the market which we are targeting as well is sort of niche in terms
Mm-hmm.
of like uh, language barriers and everything. So for it, at my case, most of them use Spotify
Mm-hmm.
or YouTube and even Apple, like amongst these
Yeah.
three, and other platforms also like Amazon, Savan, Gaana,
Mm.
वहाँ पे भी रहता है, but उनके stats या statistics आप देख नहीं पाते,
Okay.
because
Interesting.
yeah, like we have an app, Spotify for artists, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
we just get our old statistics
Yeah,
over there,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So likewise, like Apple for artists.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that, and I feel, but Spotify is a way more impactful and bigger. Like today, if I have to search for anyone, I'll just straight up go to the Spotify.
Oh, professional goals with music.
It's different. So there are some really nice goals which I have, like not nice goals, I would say. So there are definitely some goals which I have set in mind, but there's always a tunnel vision for the next step.
Okay.
So today, for me, my goal might be, okay, I need to strike this XYZ set of things, but there will always be just a tunnel vision for the next step, which is my next release,
Mm-hmm.
Nazariya, which is we're going to drop that very, very soon. And so I can't put it down to words, because music, there's so many things you can do with it. And for me, my things are like, I don't like putting out things over there till it's done.
Right.
So there are some, like, for me, my goal for 2023 or this year, I think every day is like every day is new year if you're loving what you're doing.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
so, but specifically for this year, it's just to optimize, grow, just that cycle,
Mm-hmm.
nothing else. And definitely want to pick up on a few skills.
Mm-hmm.
And but the long term vision will keep on changing, growing, evolving. But for me right now, the only tunnel vision, so I don't keep those big goals as, because
Right.
मैं 2 साल का vision डाल दूं,
Mm.
but मुझे करना तो पड़ेगा, like the अगला ही
Right.
चीज, right? So
Right.
I don't want to lose out on that gratification, because I was actually caught up in that cycle. Used
Mm-hmm.
to keep very significant, big time, long term goals.
Right.
But when I got into the process 2 months, a while ago, so I'm like, 2 months, 3 months, you even realize that you lose out on motivation,
Right.
because you just are so
You're just
demotivated because there's
viewing
such a
it.
long way to go to. So there
Yeah.
was no instant, like, there was no satisfaction which was
Right.
coming in the small steps.
Right.
So like my dad says, boon boon se banta hai sagar. So it's legit that, so that since then, it's been a while since I've been practicing this. And it's just like you won't even realize when you are, say, about you complete 1/4 of your. So to be honest, the fashion aspect, I am that sort of a guy where if you tell me मैं slippers में घुस जाऊँ club में. Not like,
I think I have seen you in slippers in the
yeah,
club.
exactly, right? And that's just my comfort language.
Yeah,
But definitely when it comes to shows, I mean, you're coming out, like, to going
yeah.
to,
Yeah, yeah.
the way you're dressed will even, you can say how you're feeling in that very moment.
Right.
The way you are, you've made your hair, the way you've made you groom yourself. Don't go on this, because I'm actually growing this fur look. Yeah. So there's this one frame, but I have to look very intense and stuff. So they said,
Right.
like, keep growing. We don't want you to groom this. We don't want you to groom
Okay.
this. I was like, okay. But yeah, it's definitely a figure of expression of how you feel.
Right.
And if you're dressed sharp, you look confident. If you're
Right.
like, that's just my point of view.
Yeah, I think
And
I'd agree with that.
I have seen the change in my dressing sense, bro. I was like a proper slim fit, like really nice fit shirts I used to wear. And now I can't even get. Now when I look at those shirts and I'm like, bro, तो कैसे सांस लेता था ऐसे. And now I'm just repping the oversized
Especially
fit.
those skinny fit
Dude,
jeans,
you have
bro.
no idea. No, those are like my. वो तो मेरे लिए, like, those are never gonna go.
Okay.
But it's basically, I think that's like even like a. I just feel so confident in them. Like, cause I have like one or two of my friends like, bro, come on. Like, I think you should really experiment with those, like, baggy jeans and stuff. And then I was like, dude, you never know. Very soon.
Yeah, maybe you might find that you like it.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
no harm.
always up for, like,
Trying out. Yeah.
trying it out.
Yeah, for
And
sure. So yeah, like you said that you don't have you have actually you do have upcoming projects, but you're not gonna give us dates
we can't. I would
and
love
you're not
to.
gonna tell us
But there
anything
is
about
no,
them.
but I just want to say, like, there's some really, really nice projects lined up, and some very fun collaborations which are in the pipeline and stuff as well. We are actually taking the top like a notch a little up,
For sure.
and it's gonna be major integration between Cal and Bombay
For sure.
primarily, and apart from that, there are even really this year some great collaborations in terms of, you can say, not just projects but shows and a lot of
Okay.
other things as well, right? They're aligned, and we would love to put them out, like, but the thing is creating that mysteriousness, that aura, like, okay, what's next, what's next,
Right.
what's next, right? अगर मैं भी बोल दूं तो फिर मजा क्या?
Right.
Because at the back of mind, then you'll obviously know कि हाँ, ये है, ये
Right.
गिरेगा, तो
Yeah.
कभी ना कभी, तो उसके बाद क्या?
Fair enough. True. So, I mean, to all the viewers,
Yeah.
like, where can they find you?
So you can like find me everywhere. I'm always in spirit with you as well. But jokes apart, just type RvD on Spotify, Apple, anywhere, and you can,
Plug your Instagram, bro.
yeah, Raghu Dwivedi _ So we might just like put it out at the back as well, so you guys can like check it out.
For
And
sure.
big love. Shout out to you as well, bro. Ten Studio has been really making some great noise in the city. Not noise, you can even say sound.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Mostly noise.
mostly noise. But you guys been making a killing as well. Like the ones which you guys did at Ginkgo, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
that was such a great event, bro. Like I
Yeah.
was like, whoa. यार मैं था नहीं काल में, मेरे को तो फोमो हो गया, मैं बॉम्बे में बैठे बैंड्रा वैसे में बैठे बैठे मैं बोला फक यार मेरे को घरियाट नहीं,
Dude,
चलो.
the music was amazing.
I can, yeah, you and Bagla like did a great job.
Thanks, brother.
And yeah, I really think that is the thing, like where doing these unconventional things
Right.
and sort of, you know, every time when we're doing something, right? It's like आपको एक अलग vision देना है, एक अलग एक tinge
Yeah.
of that newness, like कि okay, last time हम लोग ये किए थे, last time हमारे स्टोर में था, अब पब में, अब आपको
Yeah.
नहीं पता, you never know, next time it might be an open
Yeah.
area carnival kind of a
It
thing.
will. I'm not
Exactly.
gonna say. So, like, what are some of your? I mean, talking a little bit about that project that I'm doing with Tushar, which is like kind of just promoting like open format music.
Crazy.
Because the thing that you find in Calcutta is that there's just so much techno
Oh, yeah.
that
True.
we just felt like, let's bring back parties and having fun at nightclubs instead
Yeah.
of just everyone looking at the DJ and kind of
Bhajna.
bumping their
Yeah.
hands. Like, I think we wanted to make like more of a scene where like, like people know each other. It's a party, like get to know each other, play all kinds of music,
True.
not just one specific genre. Like the whole idea about open format is that we'll be playing hip hop, we'll be playing disco, we'll be playing, elements of soul, garage, grime. It could be anything. And that was the basic idea, is that we wanted to incorporate that along with, like with Ten Hill Studio. What we're doing is kind of also promoting streetwear.
Yeah.
So kind of bridging that gap between the music world and the streetwear world, and kind of making people realize that we're all actually one big community essentially.
Exactly.
And the more of us, the better, and the more
and the
fun.
more powerful the impact
Yeah.
is gonna be, bro.
For sure.
And I feel like, again, like the crowd is Abadi in Calcutta. The population is easily 4 crore, like 4 crore plus right now, right? So the target market, uska आप एक percentage भी लोगे.
Yeah,
Like
for
there's
sure.
a techno crowd there, but there's definitely like a very proper hip hop crowd and stuff as well. Community. So
Yeah, bro, you
it's
see it on Wednesday nights at Phoenix. Like you
it's
can't even enter. Bro.
shout out to Rishi Boy and
Yeah.
Roxanne for making that scene. Big ups
For
to you
sure.
guys, because the music is insanely good over there.
Yeah, yeah.
So wow,
Yeah, love to Rishi, love to Roxanne,
it's
always.
I mean, it like just feels very great when you see that at least एक जगह पे तो it's been consistently hip hop lovers and who are pulling up every Wednesday and they are just going at it.
It's also the best party in town, I feel like.
True.
forget Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Like I think that consistently every Wednesday you know what you're gonna get. And that's
Exactly.
a
And that consistency, bro.
yeah,
Like
that's
it's insane.
consistency. It's in fact like Rishi was speaking to me about you,
Oh,
and he had a lot of good things to say about you. I
oh,
think you
glad.
even performed maybe.
Yeah, we did
Uh,
there was an integration at a showcase done at Phoenix
yeah,
back in June. So I brought out like two of my boys with me,
yeah, yeah,
Rishabh
yeah.
and Vedant.
And then
And
a lot of programmers have been like like talking about trying to get you involved in projects
yeah,
and
but
stuff.
that's there as well. Like it's just that I um would love to actually come on board and like put us out there and stuff. Because again, there's a protocol, there's so many things in between and
Right,
stuff. So takes a little bit of time, but very excited to implement those things and
for
stuff.
sure. I mean, um, we're always looking for more people to join
Yeah.
and create even bigger things
Yeah,
together.
dude.
Because for us, it's not the monetary aspect. It's about building the culture.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
And automatically with that, the impact grows.
Yeah,
So,
and also the thing is that in Calcutta, like most people are kind of like even if like you said there might be like a big target audience, like you never see them together,
because they're all scattered now.
scattered.
And we can't expect all of them to be together at one place because
No,
that'll
it's
just be
not.
like
Yeah,
टेक्नो
but
वाले
the
दे रहे होंगे गालियां हिप हॉप वालों को हिप हॉप वाले के लिए गालियां दे रहे होंगे टेक्नो वालों को
yeah, yeah,
so it's to sort of you can say know the niche, know the crowd, the target market, and then just like integrating it in specifically in
for
that
sure.
because even clubs have a capacity, right? So
Right.
rather than going for mass, just go for the qualitative crowd, which you guys exactly what you guys did in Genko,
Yeah.
and like it was amazing.
It was really good.
We're really
I've
looking
been
forward to
really
the
happy
next.
with both the events, and if you are interested, like we are planning something this month.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Like
We
we
haven't
can
decided the venue yet, but it should be coming out real soon.
110%.
All right.
Sign me up, count me in.
Yeah.
Tell her till the end of time.
All right. So that was Raghu, and hope you guys keep watching, subscribe, like, share. Because if you don't share, then I mean, this is not. I mean, we have to kind of, get this man out there, his
Oh,
vision, his message, and of course, keep watching. And lots of love to everyone. Hope you guys have a great day and great week and great year.
big love, guys. See you very soon.
Peace. Cool.